Hey guys, we are back. Sorry about no video for today. If you had saw my day of Easter prep, it didn't go according to plan. So then we were eating a lot later than we anticipated. So I didn't get a chance to get back to the gym. So I apologize for that. But we are here today with White Knuckles. White Knuckles is a chipper WOD. So we are going through this one time only. So it is for time. But we are not repeating anything. We are just going through, well, we're repeating movements, but we're not doing this twice. So it is pull-ups, strict pull-ups, running, single arm dumbbell power cleans, more running, single dumbbell power jerks, or push jerks, sorry, running, and then back to strict pull-ups at the end. So when we talk about strict pull-ups here in the very beginning, here, you might be able to do some big sets and go big on these, especially for the guys. But that will not set you up very well for trying to go big sets down here. So thinking we have pulling here, we have pulling here. So if you go really big here and then you have pulling down here, it's not going to go so well for you. So really try to maybe make that smaller sets than what you think you could do. Instead of thinking, what could I do here? Think, what would I possibly be doing down here? If you think I'm going to have to break it up more down here than up here, then probably it would be best to break it up here as well and go small sets. Small sets doesn't mean you have to take big breaks, right? It's better to go small with a quick break than do 10 or 15 in a row and then all of a sudden you're doing singles at the end because you just did too much. So think small quick sets, take a break and just jump back up on that bar. For the run, it is going to be a 400 meter run initially, then an 800 meter run, and then another 400 meter run. With the run, so the subs down here for our run are, if you are not running, you are going to, for the 400 meter runs, you are doing a 500/400 meter row, if that's what you're going to sub out. 28 calories, 20 calories for female bike, if that's what you're going to do. If you're using some piece of cardio equipment that you have at home, like an elliptical, Stairmaster, etc., that's a 2-minute cardio event. And if you're going to do the weighted walks, power walks, so weighted walks with a backpack or something on your back, or just power walking as fast as you can, 2 minutes here. When we go into the 800 meter runs, it is going to go up to 1,000 meters, 800 meters for females on the row, 56:40 for calories on the bike, 4 minutes or so of cardio, whatever equipment you're going to use, cardio equipment, and then 4 minute power walk. So if you're looking at a 2-minute power walk, you're probably looking at maybe 300 meters here. If you're looking at a 400 meter, maybe 500 to 600 meters is what we're kind of looking for here. But make sure you have your watch on so you kind of know what you're doing there. I forgot to talk about what our options are for strict pull-ups. Our strict pull-ups are, we've been doing this, so you guys are probably pretty familiar now. If you think you can't do, so we are giving the females an option here because this is a bit of big volume for females. So it's going to be 20 pull-ups for guys, 14 pull-ups for females. You're going to scale that to a number you can do in 6 sets. So if you think you can't get those numbers done in 6 sets, then you probably need to decrease your number of pull-ups. If you can't do pull-ups because you don't have a pull-up bar, you can do 40 dumbbell rows per arm. So that's 40 per arm, not 40 total. So 40 per arm. And if you need to break those up, I'm okay with that. If you want to go 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 until you get 40 per arm, that is fine. You can do 40 odd object rows, which we're going to show you that with the sandbag. And for those of you that have like TRX bands or ring rows of some kind at home, then you can obviously switch out your pull-ups for ring rows or TRX rows there as well. And then we've got single dumbbell power cleans. We're going to be alternating those, and Max is going to demo those. So we'll be alternating those going up to 60, and then the single arm dumbbell push jerks. We are not going to alternate those. That would take forever. So we're going to do 5 on one side, 5 on the other side until we hit 60. And I think that's all I have to say there. Remember, this is a chipper WOD. You do not want to come out really hard and fast because then this part isn't going to go so well for you. You want to think that if you pace yourself and do a good job here, this part down here should be the same time or even better. So leave something in the tank so that you can actually push it. Don't go so hard out of the gates that this becomes just a trot over the finish line, okay? I think we talked about small sets, alternating, changing, yep. All right, we are going to the floor. Demo guy Max is here today. So first off, we're going to talk about the pull-ups. So obviously if you have a pull-up bar, you're going to do strict pull-ups. Cassie's going to get him from the side a little bit, just paying attention to watching how he pushes down against that bar as he is coming up, which pulls him back behind the bar, up and down, which puts him in his lats. Max will do a couple pull-ups for you. You're going all the way up to your chin, knuckles up nice and tall, or nice and high. Good. So that is your strict pull-up. If you can't do strict pull-ups, you are going to do the dumbbell row. So Max will grab that dumbbell, doing 40 per side, so he'll just show you a few on one side. Remember, we're going all the way down, all the way up, right? Good. And then if you do have a weighted object, so sandbag, we've talked about the backpack, so I'm going to actually just spend a quick moment here talking about that weighted backpack. If you haven't built one of those and you keep asking, what is she talking about? Find a backpack. Your kids don't need them right now. They're not going to school. So take their backpack and fill it full. Find some salt that you didn't use this winter for salting your driveways, or put a big thing of flour or something. Put enough weight in there that you get the weight you want. So think, if you were in here and I was saying doing a 35-pound sandbag, or a 35-pound rec bag, or 50 pounds or 40 pounds, fill it with what you want. Get your material, wrap it in a blanket so it's nice and secure, stuff it in your backpack, and now you have a sandbag. Your backpack is like a sandbag or an odd object. So when you hear me talk about get that odd object and use it that way, that would be different than having to do dumbbell rows every time. So we're trying to do something a little bit different to challenge your muscles in a different way. So that is what that weighted backpack is. You can get books as well. Again, your kids probably aren't using them anymore. Wrap them up, but don't just throw them in your backpack, because then they'll be clunking all over on you. If you're going to use books, wrap them again in a blanket so they're nice and secure, so that if you drop it, you're not breaking anything, and it's not jabbing you in the back if you're trying to walk with it or do something with it or do ground to overhead. So pretending this is our weighted odd object, which it is, it's a sandbag here, you would be bending over, so go sideways, so Cassie, yeah. And then you are doing a row. So the same idea, tipping over and rowing. So thinking his elbows are coming straight back behind here, not out to the side. And you could be rowing instead of doing those pull-ups. And remember, if you have ring rows, obviously all of you know how to do that. If you do have a TRX or rings of some kind, you can do ring rows. So it's flipping the other way and doing rings this way versus pulling and doing pull-ups that way. All right, that's your pull-up options. The dumbbell now, Max is going to show you dumbbell power clean. So this is alternating, so that means that the dumbbell goes all the way to the ground. Turn to the side a little bit so they get that positioning. Remember, with our positioning, the dumbbell is going to be between our feet, facing this way. Max is going to grab it with one hand with his chest up, his hips down. So his hips are lower than his shoulders. And then he is going to come up. He's going to touch his shoulder with one end of the dumbbell. And then he's going to bring it back down. He can change his hands in the air if he wants, or he can go all the way to the ground and change hands. Go all the way to the ground and change hands. And you can do that. So you can change it as you're going down and try to go a little quicker, or you can put it on the ground and change that way. That's your dumbbell power cleans. You're going to alternate. So you're doing 30 per arm, alternating the entire time. Push jerks is a little bit different. You're going to bring that up to your shoulder. And we are going to do 5 on one side. Remember, push jerk is dip, drive, dip. Get a little bit more of a dip. Good. And then you're going to switch hands. Say that was 5. And you're going to do 5 on the other hand. And the last thing we're going to do before he put it down. Those of you that can't do a push jerk, you can do push press. It'll be a little bit harder, obviously, because you're not landing in that jerk position. But if you don't know how to push jerk, you can do a push press. Just do a couple, that's it. That's where we're not getting that second dip. So if that's what you know how to do, you will do those instead. And I think that is all we have. We've got the running, we've got the pull-ups, and we've got some dumbbell work today. Good luck, everybody.